Consumer protection and measures taken by the government. Consumer protection. Protecting the interests of the consumer is one of the major concerns of the government as one of its social obligations. Policies have been designed and legislation enacted to protect the interests of the consumer and grant them rights of choice, safety, information, and redressal. A separate Department of Consumer Affairs was created in the central government in the year 1998 to act as a nodal department to exclusively focus on protecting the rights of consumers, including the redressal of consumer grievances, as well as to promote the standards of goods and services. Some state governments have also created separate departments of consumer affairs, though they are not full-fledged in the manner the central government envisaged. The Consumer Protection Act of 1986. One of the most important milestones in the consumer movement in the country has been the enactment of the Consumer Protection Act of 1986. This act was necessitated because there were sections of manufacturers, traders, and service providers who often attempted to exploit the consumers. Moreover, various factors had resulted in enormous pendency and delay in disposal of cases in the civil courts, causing consumers to wait for years for settlement of even small claims. Hence, the Consumer Protection Act of 1986 was introduced to better protect the interests of consumers. It is one of the most progressive and comprehensive pieces of legislation covering all goods and services. The salient features of the Act are as under. The Act provides for establishing a three-tier consumer dispute redressal machinery at the national, state, and district levels, commonly known as the National Commission, State Commission, and District Forum respectively. It is an umbrella legislation covering all goods and services, excluding only commercial transactions from the purview of the Act. A consumer can seek redressal against any manufacturer and trader of goods and services provider, whether it is an individual or public or private enterprise or a cooperative society, etc., so long as the purchased or service availed of was for a consideration. The Act also provides for setting up of a Consumer Protection Council at the central, state, and district levels, which is an advisory body to promote and protect the rights of consumers. The provisions of the Act are in addition to the existing provisions of any other law for the time being in force. Though the responsibility of establishing consumer forum at the district and state levels are that of the states or union territories, the central government has been implementing some schemes for improving the functioning of the consumer fora. Some examples are computerization and computer networking of consumer fora in the country. Confonet. Under this scheme, the consumer fora at the three tiers throughout the country are being completely computerized and connected through network for exchange of information, which would enable them to have access to information, faster facilitating and quicker disposal of cases. The project is being implemented by the National Informatics Center on a turnkey basis. Consumer Grievances Redressal Cell. There is Consumer Grievances Redressal Cell, which receives a large number of complaints from consumers relating to shortfall in supplies or expectations, deficiency in services, which covers complaints or grievances regarding 1. Supply of defective household appliances including automobiles, TV sets, poor construction, a non-refund of fixed deposit amounts, non-realization of dividend from companies. The cell as well as the Consumer Coordination Council take up the grievances with the concerned authorities or departments for their redressal at the earliest. Consumer cooperatives. Consumer cooperatives have been playing a role in the distribution of consumer goods, particularly the supply of essential consumer items at fair prices to the rural community, especially in the remote, inaccessible and hilly areas. The objective of consumer cooperatives has been to eliminate the middleman and to protect the wholesalers and sell to consumers at reasonable prices. The surplus, if any, is distributed among the members as bonus on purchases or used for growth of the cooperatives. Consumer cooperatives have received a good deal of support from the government as they help to check the risk in prices of consumer goods. Consumer cooperatives have a 4-tier structure comprising primary store, wholesale or central store, state consumer cooperative federations, and national consumer cooperative federations. However, in the states located in the northeast and the smaller states or union territories, composite state-level consumer-cum-marketing federations dealing with consumer articles are functioning. There is a national-level consumer cooperative organization, that is the NCCF in the country. The NCCF was set up on 15th of October in 1965 and is administered under the Multi-State Cooperative Societies Act. The affairs of the NCCF are managed by a board of directors comprising both elected and nominated members as per the provisions of the bylaws of the NCCF. Consumer Welfare Fund. The Consumer Welfare Fund was created way back in 1992 with the objective of providing financial assistance to promote and protect the welfare of the consumer, create consumer awareness, and strengthen consumer movement in the country, particularly in rural areas. Under the Consumer Welfare Fund rules, any agency or organization engaged in consumer welfare activities for a period of 3 years are eligible for seeking financial assistance from the fund. Setting up of consumer product testing laboratories, scheme on promoting involvement of research institutions, universities or colleges, creation chair or centers of excellence in ITI institution or universities, mediation centers for consumer grievances redressal. Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industries has been sanctioned a grant of Rs 356 lakhs for establishment of FICCI Alliance for Consumer Care for setting up of a mechanism and providing a platform for facilitating prompt redressal of consumer complaints through voluntary self-regulation of consumer education. Information, education and communication programs for consumer awareness. Setting of national and state consumer helplines. Training programs for consumer awareness. Consumer awareness. Jago Grahak Jago, an initiative towards consumer awareness. Realizing the importance of consumer awareness, the government has accorded top priority to consumer education, protection and awareness. India is a country which has taken a lead in introducing progressive legislation for consumer protection. The 11th plan has seen a significant ramp-up of budgetary support for consumer awareness and protection. The slogan, Jago Grahak Jago, has now become a household name as a result of the publicity campaign undertaken in the last 4 years. Through the increased thrust on consumer awareness in the 11th 5-year plan, the government has endeavored to inform the common man of his rights as a consumer. As part of the consumer awareness scheme, the rural and remote areas have been given top priority. The campaign has used all possible mediums. Publicity through Doordarshan. Publicity through air. The All India Radio provides a unique dimension of having access to almost 99% of the population and on account of easy portability of radio sets. This medium provides an effective platform for reaching out to the migrant population and the construction worker as well as laborers and farmers who often carry radio sets with them while they work in the field or construction sites. Publicity through print media using newspaper advertisements. Each advertisement has been released through a network of more than 300 newspapers throughout the length and breadth of the country. Publicity through electronic medium by telecast of video. The department has got produced video spots of 30 and 40 seconds duration on various consumer-related issues such as provisions of Consumer Protection Act, banking services and medicines, travel service, grievance redressal system, MRP, ISI and Hallmark, etc., which are being telecast through Doordarshan and satellite channels. Special programs have been telecast on Lok Sabha TV also to highlight the issues relating to consumer awareness. Issues pertaining to rural and remote areas have been given prominence in the various advertisement spots. Telecast of video spots in the northeastern states. Doordarshan Kendras of northeastern states ensure that the message reaches out in the local language. The audio as well as video spots were produced in local languages specific to northeastern regions such as Assamese, Kashi, Garo, Mizo, Manipuri and Naga. Meghdut postcards. The department in consultation with the Department of Posts has disseminated consumer awareness messages through the Meghdut postcards to reach far-flung rural areas including the northeast states. The posters are also displayed in lakhs of all post offices in India. Use of sports events. The department telecasts video spots containing consumer-related information during popular sports events, particularly the cricket series where the audience interest is maximum. The use of internet to generate consumer awareness. Publicity through outdoor medium, such as banners, hoardings, unipoles, metro panels, bus panels, railway tickets, reservation charts in railway stations and airports, neon signboards in railway stations and airports, etc. Publicity through conventional medium, such as exhibitions and trade fairs. Focus areas on consumer awareness is on the core subjects or issues which are within the administration jurisdiction of the department, such as awareness of Consumer Protection Act, grievances redressal mechanism, standardization such as ISI, hallmark, etc., weights and measures, and comparative testing. The legal metrology Packaged Commodities Rules of 2011 came into force on 1st of April 2011. A pre-packed or pre-package of whatever nature, whether sealed or not, needs to have specifications mentioned about its quantity so that the product contained therein has a predetermined quantity. According to these provisions, every package intended for retail sale is required to carry in consumer interest the following declarations, namely the name and address of manufacturer or packer, generic name of the commodity contained in package, net quantity, month and year of manufacture or packing or import, retail sale price of the package, and contact details of the person or office which may be contacted in case of consumer complaints. Mandatory declaration of retail price is to be given in the form of MRP, rupees so and so, and mentioned as inclusive of all taxes. Retail dealers covered under value added tax and turnover tax and dealing in packaged commodities whose net content is by weight or volume or a combination in there have to maintain appropriate electronic weighing instruments with facility to issue printed receipts, the weight of packages free of cost, so that consumers can check the weight of packaged commodities purchased from the shop.